exciting. All right, Bueller and Dodge here, and on the phone, we have someone we spoke to multiple times. We're really looking forward to this one again. Right now, the number 3 bantamweight, Urijah Faber, meets the number 3 featherweight, Frankie Edgar, in a super fight happening next Saturday, May 16th, for Ultimate Fight Night 16. Now, this is going live from the Mall of Asia Arena in Manila, the Philippines. So make sure you set your coffee makers and alarms for 7 a.m. Fox Sports 1. Now, this is East Coast versus West Coast. Biggie versus Tupac. How exciting is this fight for you, man, and what do you see happening?
I'm excited for it. This is a fight that folks have wanted to see for a long time, and I feel really good actually being able to get back up to my regular weight. I'm in, probably the biggest I've ever been my entire career, and I think the fight's a perfect one to go up to reintroduce myself at the weight class.
Now, how is it after 5 years of being down at 135 going back to 145? What are you having to do to put the weight back on?
Oh, it wasn't hard, that's for sure. I did a couple of weeks of lifting, and then just ate like I wanted to. And I've been a little bit more mindful of replenishing, foods right after workouts and using some supplements here and there, which has added to the to the process. But for the most part, my body is pretty pumped to be back up at this weight, I think.
Well, now that you're back up at this weight, and after having to be at a lower weight for so long, is there anything that you kind of deprive yourself of as far as food goes up there in the Sacramento area that you now get to eat? Was there like a burger joint from back in college that you haven't had in so long, or anything like that you finally got to eat again?
No, I don't really. I'm not real strict on diet like that. I always kind of eat pretty healthy, and it's just a portion control thing is the difference. I can eat more now, and it's a very hard cut at the end of the day for a 135-pound weight class. I mean, I'll have to cut, from being heavier, probably 23, 24 pounds, and so now it's more going to be like 14 or 16 pounds. So that's the difference. It's the last few weeks that really are going to change.
Okay. So the big question on my mind is, were you a little nervous going back to another country of short Asian people after your infamous story from Bali?
No, I don't have anything against Bali. It was just a couple of bad folks I ran into over there. The Philippines, everyone's been super cool. I've been there a couple different times, and I'm pretty good at staying out of trouble at this point.
Yeah, stay out of the clubs, man. So, what do you think about the new Reebok sponsorship deal that got released yesterday?
I think it's going to take some money out of a lot of guys' pockets. I'm at the top tier for not being a champion of that thing, and for me, I wear a lot of my own companies, and in addition to have other sponsors, so it definitely is not the best thing for me, but I'm not really going to complain about it. It is what it is. I didn't necessarily get into the sport to become a super wealthy, rich man, and as long as I remember that I'm doing something that I love, and that I'm able to live the life that I want, then I can focus on that and not the little details about an extra couple of grand here and extra couple of grand there. It seems like whenever I start worrying about things like that, it just zaps the fun out of things.
That makes sense. You got someone like Brandon Schaub, though, who says he was making 6 figures a fight for his sponsorship. You take that into account if he's fighting 3 times a year, which, I mean, granted he's not right now, but that's $300,000 versus the tier that he's in where he would only be making, maybe $30,000 a year based on sponsorship.
Yeah, no, I know, like Chad Mendes, for example, is a teammate, a good buddy of mine. He's going to get hosed on the deal for sure. No doubt in my mind. He makes good money as a sponsor with sponsors, and he's in the tier where he gets, now I think he's on a $10,000 fight tier, which will take a lot of money out of his pocket. And I hope, because I love the UFC, I love being a part of the big family there. I hope it doesn't start, pushing people to other organizations like, Bellator and World Series of Fighting and some of the other international fight organizations, because I can see that being the case in some way, shape, or form, and I'd hate to see that.
Yeah. Tim Kennedy posted that he was upset. He's only basically getting $2,500, and he tweeted to Scott Coker, "Hey, what's up? I miss you."
I saw that.
That's funny.
No, what Dana White said about it.
He's only going to get $2,500 bucks?
Yeah, because he's in that tier.
Is he really? Wow, that's surprising.
Oh, gosh.
So what Dana White said is that someone like Ronda Rousey does sponsorships outside of the UFC and seems to be doing pretty well with that. Is there a way for you guys to do that? Like, can you use Instagram or anything like that to your favor?
Yeah, you can. I mean, if you can get sponsors outside, then that's great. I don't think that the one thing within this deal is the whole fight week and anything fight produced, meaning countdown shows, etc., are supposed to be in the Reebok uniform, so that kind of hinders things quite a bit. During press conferences and media tours and things like that. So I'm not sure, man. It's really going to be interesting. We'll see how everyone reacts. But again, I can't be focused on the money with this thing, or otherwise it just ruins it for me. So I'm not going to worry about it. But I have my own clothing company, Torque, and I have on my banner coming up in this next fight will be 4 or 5 of my own companies. So I'm losing that opportunity, but it is what it is.
Is one of those companies on your banner going to be Memory Tag?
Yeah, that's right. With our boy Robert Beatles is out there.
Yeah, we know. I know Robert really well, actually.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I used to. We used to work together on a few projects. It's pretty cool, man. Yes, we've been pumping the Memory Tag stuff on the show for a while.
Oh, that's awesome, man. So, what, do you do some construction stuff also?
No, we didn't. It's way off topic, man. No, I met him through the radio station. We kind of hit it off. We became friends, and then I kind of wanted to get into the fight game, so I started managing fighters, and we had some deals for a couple fights for a while. And we've just been friends ever since.
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Real good guy.
Robert, what's up, man? It's Tristan, dude.
So we recently had some of the Last Stand Fight team members out of Oakdale MMA on our show, and we've been all talking about the Ultimate Fighter season that's currently going on, where we have Black Azilians versus the American Top Team, and they suggested a season against Team Alpha Male. Since you guys are both in NorCal and you guys in the smaller shows seem to battle it out quite a bit, what would you think about that idea?
That'd be cool. I'd be down with that. I know that Jose Aldo and the No Hunyao crew has been wanting to do the reality show with us also. I don't know if they're going to continue doing this. I get the feeling that the American Top Team and the Black Zillions, they have some wealthy owners, and I think they might have pushed to make that happen. So, but I'd be down for whatever, man. We're always game for good competition.
Well, we're gonna start tweeting it out and say that it's going to happen, and then maybe if we start enough rumors that it's going to happen, it'll actually happen.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. So recently, you showed up at one of the California vaccination things that were going on. How much flack did you get for coming out as an anti-vaxxer?
Dude, there's always people on the internet that are riled up, and definitely some people that are passionate about it on both sides. I think I'm never a guy to say don't vaccinate, but just be able to do some research yourself, because there's a lot of things that people just take because someone tells them, and it's like there's a lot of different details that you can look at and research. So when it comes to me having kids, which I don't, I'm definitely going to be researching every single one of those issues, whether it's 1 or 10 vaccines. I'm gonna look at possible effects, because one person's life is may not be valuable in the big picture to the world, but to their family and everyone else, it's pretty important.
Well, it's good that you're taking that road instead of just saying I'm completely anti-vaccination. You're like, no, just do the research. I mean, that's a much better way to look at it for sure.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there are. I mean, they're not denying that there's side effects and things like that. So, I mean, it's a risk still. So you have to take that in consideration when you have, putting foreign stuff into someone's body, 10 at a time when they're young, and it's something you got to look at.
I saw one of the big questions a lot of people were asking you was, yeah.
All right, we'll wrap it up. We got one more question for you, man. We've asked you about fighting the pterodactyl with the bear. We've asked you about horses and ducks. So Dodge had to come up with another one. So here you go, man.
All right, Uriah. So let's say things go crazy and awry there in the Philippines. Out of anyone in history, fictional or non-fictional, who would you want backing you in a bar fight?
Backing me in a bar fight. You know what? I think it's about tenacity and never giving up. I got to go with my boy Abraham Lincoln. As you all know, I'm a big fan of his, and he was a grappler, and I think probably did a little boxing as well. He was a tall, lanky guy. He kind of built like the Diaz brothers. So,
there we go.
If we can get Abraham Lincoln Diaz, I'll take that.
I like that answer. He's always one of the top presidents on which president would win in a fight, so not a bad selection there at all. Hey, Uriah, thank you so much for being on the show, man. Prelims are going down next week on Fox. Make sure you set your alarms, 5 a.m., Fox Sports 1. The card also features Mark Munoz, retirement fight, also Gegard Mousasi, Kostas Falopu, and, of course, Urijah Faber versus Frankie Edgar. Good luck, man. Thanks for being on the show.
You got it, brother. Thanks, guys.